I requested to speak. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Daily Bone Podcast, Monday, October 28th. We are here to discuss all things crypto market. We have a very special guest on the show today, Greeny. Greeny, how you doing, buddy?
Good, Pierre. How are you, mate? How are you?
Doing good. We were just talking about your international travels, as a proper Aussie does, right?
Yeah, mate. Yeah, you got to test out the world when you live everywhere, like so far from everywhere else. So yeah.
Gotcha. Well, we're here to, we're having you on today. We're really excited to hear about your, trading strategies and what you make of, the market in general today, largely meme coins. We're going to discuss some of the catalysts going into election week. We're going to discuss the state of macro and meme coins, of course, with Greeny. And we're going to play our favorite meme coin game show, Meme Coin Monday. I'm getting feedback here, so I have to actually just hit this phone on the other side of the room real quick. Easy, would you mind potentially discussing the kickoff of our partnership with Party Icons?
No, absolutely, man. Party Icons raised a ton of money recently, and I'm a huge fan of what it is that they've been cooking up as well. So we're going to be working and doing a variety of different things with Party Icons. Very, very excited for it myself. A mobile and PC experience with cross-play functionality across the board. It's free to play on mobile and PC, as mentioned. And they have what's known as a God mode, which is where all the players are playing against one another in teams of two. And then on top of that, one player actually has the ability to drive action, changes, and other things that can occur in the game. So think of it as sort of like a Hunger Games where the people behind the wall who are not actually playing are dictating actions that occur on that. Their main game mode, Party Heist, is a loot heist extraction shooter. 4 teams of 2 competing against each other. And they have an innovative game economy with game currencies, Web3 tokens, and allowing players to play and earn real rewards. That private round that they raised was by VC giant Bitcraft, who's invested in a variety of other massive games. $20 million total raised, a $9 million private round that they raised as well. It's awesome to see, awesome to hear, and very excited to play the game and kick some ass against my fellow show participants.
I am so ready to be playing this. I'm going to be firing off that God mode on top of you and Clemente running around. You guys aren't going to know what's going to hit you.
I'm going to have the most natural talent when it comes to playing the game, clearly. Make sure you follow Party Icons, ladies and gentlemen. Party Icons OGX. Ray will pin it to the top of the Twitter Spaces link. Very, very excited about, getting a chance to work with Party Icons. Why don't we get into this weather report? Signal whenever you are ready. Monday, October 28th.
Yes. Absolutely, Pio. We are, guys, we are 8 days to the election. So let's see what's going on in the weather report, see if anything's going on there. But for Monday, let's see. It is Monday, October 28th. Looking at that crypto roundup, the majors, they're all up over 2% on the day, with Bitcoin just shy of 69K, Ethereum just over $2,500, and Solana at $177. Looking healthy there. The leading top 100 coin was Aave, which is up 7% to a 2.2 billion market cap. Over the weekend, the top 3 stories. Well, firstly, FTX reached a settlement with Bybit for $225 million. This settlement will secure additional value for the FTX creditors. Secondly, next up, it was a bullish weekend for Bitcoin, with Emory University disclosing $15 million in grayscale Bitcoin ETF holdings. Meta Planet acquiring an additional $10 million of Bitcoin to bring their total holdings to over 1,000 Bitcoin. And Michael Saylor is offering to advise Microsoft on their Bitcoin treasury strategy. So all the corporates out there acquiring more Bitcoin. And then finally, Israel struck back at Iran on Friday evening, launching a precise strike on military targets. Iran informed Israel they would not be retaliating to this most recent attack. That is all for the weather report. Those are the stories. It is back to you in the studio.
Fantastic weather report as usual, Signal. I do think that the cycle's heating up. I was at like a bar last night, and next to me, I heard the people talking about crypto, and it sounded like they worked in crypto. And I said to them, I was like, I couldn't help overhear. Do you guys work in crypto? They were like, yes, we do. And I was like, I do too. And when they asked what I did, I just the easiest way is to just go, do you know who Choose Rich Nick is? And they didn't know who he was, but then I showed them Nick's face, and they were like, yeah, we know that guy. And I was like, yeah, you know, we do this, you know. But they worked at one of the funds. I won't say which one. They invested in some huge companies, including some of our bigger partners. They didn't invest in Tensor, but they said they're big fans of Tensor. So it sounds like if Tensor needs some capital, they can go knock on that door. But anyway, I just think it might be an indicator, like, you know, just being in Brooklyn one random Sunday night, you're just next to some people that work in crypto. Things are heating up. We're becoming more legit. It's not that weird of an industry anymore. But look, Greeny, you tweeted in all caps, Bitcoin looks very good here. Well, I could have told you that, but I'd want to hear, you know, your position on why. You said that we broke out of an 8-month bull flag. We've retested the breakout and we're bouncing. So what's kind of the story here? Then we could talk about Sol ETH, and we can see what Easy thinks too.
Yeah, well, pretty much like what you covered. Hey, like we've consolidated sidewards or in a beautiful bull flag since February, March, early this year. And I think that's quite warranted considering we ran up so aggressively from about September last year. So for me, we still have time before I would start to get worried about new all-time highs or peak cycle sort of length. So for me, this is a great move up. We obviously have broken out of this consolidation range, setting a new higher high. What I would love to see is this week close really bullish here and take us higher leading into November.
Okay. Easy. What do you think about that chart?
The chart looks good. I will agree. I see this bull flag that we've had forming for an extended period of time. For me, though, it's like you want to see Bitcoin chop and alts move, in my opinion, here is more what I'm looking for. I almost want Bitcoin to hold and hover around 70K. And truthfully, I would love to see ETH maintain like 3,300 would be great. We're still a little bit of a ways off from that, but that's where I want to see the wider market move. It seems like all ETH has been like this lagging trade in comparison. Sol back to 170. I would like Sol, even Sol, if Sol chops, it's mainly ETH. If ETH rallies here, that's become like indicative of the wider altcoin market. And it's crazy to go from like ETH being this major to now being like the leader of the alts, just because there has been so much lost mind share on it. And with the meme coin meta on Sol, that's what everything's being denominated in. So that inherently leads to that price action to be increasing when so much of that is driving. And like with all these pump funds, people still are underestimating how much Solana is actually locked in these pump fund accounts. Like every one of these liquidity pools, you can't get that 5, 6, 7. It's like $5,000 of Sol in every dead pump fund. And people forget that, like $5,000 US. So like that to me is very interesting because with inflation, it's basically offsetting inflation of Solana, which I think is actually playing into this positive price action with Sol retesting its market cap all-time high.
Is it burned in that pump fund, or is it like
so it's locked? It's permanently, yeah. So technically burned. Like they burn the liquidity pool. That's how they seed it to Radium, and that's where it kind of sits down. Yeah, not 5K dead Solana. It's $5,000 that's locked in there. But this chart is what I keep looking at is these like pump fund migrations and stuff like that. That's what's more interesting to me because until that cools off, we're just going to continue to see Sol rally, meme coins rally, and the focus be there. The other thing that I'm like watching pretty closely on this is with Sol making these moves higher, it's watching active users and new active users are the two big metrics. Because like if the casino stops having people walk through its doors, volume inherently slows. So you need to kind of watch that and see like how many people are still walking into the casino every day versus how many people are taking off and leaving for a short time. We have the election coming up, so political tokens, I anticipate will have some legs here. The AI meta is slowing down a little bit, which isn't terribly surprising, especially with how hot it's been running. Yeah, all in all right now, it's kind of just this game of like, let's see what's next for me. I've slowed down a little bit on the AI coins just because I couldn't really get a great read on them and was actually just losing money on new launches, which led me to just short a lot of them and do great on the opposite side of that trade is taking the counter approach to with so many launching narrative and focus shifting and going that way.
Okay. And I guess when you guys look at Ethereum, like Greeny, how much attention do you pay to the Ethereum chart? And do you think that, you know, we've seen it strongly underperform thus far this cycle, with Bitcoin and Solana being the strongest performers, Solana being the singular strongest performer. Because of that, and if you look at previous cycles, it's actually possible that Ethereum would outperform at some point in the next 12 to 18 months. That's on the table. What do you think of what's happening with Ethereum and the Sol ETH pair?
I generally think like Ethereum's still lost, right? Like, is it trying to be Bitcoin? Is it trying to be Solana? That's probably the first thing that I'd love to see Ethereum sort of figure out what it wants to actually fundamentally be. Now, obviously with the charts, it's probably, like Easy said, quite oversold. So I'm actually already in a long from there. And I think ETH probably could be that sort of catalyst that pushes us up across the broader market, right? And I do agree with Easy as well. If Solana and Bitcoin consolidate here for a little bit longer, that's fantastic for altcoins. That's fantastic for meme coins. You've obviously got Solana versus Ethereum making all-time highs. And I think that absolutely cooks and continues to cook for many, many months ahead. BTC versus ETH is pretty much making lower lows, lower lows, lower lows. I don't know whether we see support just yet, but it's pretty much in an oversold territory and has been for quite a long time. I think it's like a 2-year downtrend, and it looks like it could have maybe potentially hit a bottom at the moment. So the trade here is potentially definitely favoring ETH in the short term, but I think still Solana in the long term, Bitcoin in the long term probably still outperform majority of compared to Ethereum, which obviously helps those meme coins. So I actually don't hold an Ethereum. I actually hold many meme coins on Ethereum, and I think that's the best play on Ethereum at the moment.
Wow. So I didn't realize you were bullish on ETH in the short term. That's interesting. I feel like it's hard to time this stuff.
Yeah, so I think it's just because it has been quite oversold, right? Like if you look at it compared to Solana and compared to Bitcoin, those have rallied more recently and throughout the year, whereas Ethereum has been quite oversold for quite a long period of time. So I do think it is questionable, right? Because I saw some things just before on the timeline that Ethereum had net outflows at crazy levels for today, and Solana had net inflows at crazy levels, right? So the Ethereum meta, the Ethereum narrative really just isn't fit for this cycle. Like I remember last cycle, it was everything and you wanted to be on Ethereum. You wanted to accumulate as much Ethereum as possible. Whereas this cycle, it's very much fixated on Solana. And I think stacking as much Solana as possible is still the best trade. Yeah, so this is the chart I was referring to. So Ethereum has had massive outflows, which is just crazy over the past week.
Damn, Base with the #1 inflows, ladies and gentlemen. This is a top 15 net flows chart provided by Artemis. I'm not familiar with Artemis. Ray, are you familiar with Artemis?
Yeah, on-chain intelligence platform, sort of like Arkham.
Well, shout out to Artemis. Let's go. Base, Arbitrum, Polygon, Solana, Sui, BNB chain are the winners in terms of inflows. Interesting to see Polygon and Base on there because those two are built on Ethereum. And then head and shoulders, the biggest outflows, is literally Ethereum Layer 1. But when you think about it, so if someone bridges Ethereum from Ethereum Layer 1 to Base or Ethereum Layer 1 to Polygon, then that is an outflow for Ethereum. And it's an inflow for those two L2s. So are L2s I don't get it. Are L2s not bullish for the price of Ethereum under any circumstances by this logic?
No, not at all. Like, literally not at all. Because think about it. You need ETH gas to be high for ETH to be deflationary, and L2s do the complete opposite. Like that is the bigger thing here is that if you're going to these L2s, ETH continues to be inflationary, and the issue is you're not getting an influx of ETH use or gas increase. So ultimately what you're going to see there is these L2s continue to dominate because it's significantly more affordable, and when they're abstracting the user layer with things like even what Abstract's doing with their new wallet, I'm very excited about with what we've seen from other chains and other EVM-based chains like AVAX, and doing all their super chains and L1s that they spin up, completely eliminating the user layer and basically comping gas. It's bearish for ETH because ETH continues to inflate.
That's tough. I mean, well, man, the evolution of Ethereum over the next 5 years is going to be a sight to see. I can't wait to see how it settles. I should say that I do fully believe that it's going to hit a new all-time high this cycle and, have a, quote, big cycle. That doesn't mean it's going to outperform Bitcoin or Solana, but I do think that it will eventually move. Sig, were you about to add something?
Yeah, but just to add to your point, Pierre, it's really, I mean, I agree with what Greeny and Easy is saying, but just like over the next 5 years, considering the amount of development time Ethereum as an ecosystem has had compared to, say, Solana or even other crypto out there, this is excluding Bitcoin, of course. It just feels like it would be really tough for that to just disappear over the next 5 years. This isn't an ecosystem that is sort of like ignoring where technology is moving. It's actually leading some of the development ecosystem. So you're just like, well, it's just going to disappear like over the next cycle. Okay, maybe this cycle it might not do that well, but the next cycle is just going to disappear. I find it hard to believe in that narrative. So I don't know, maybe this is an interesting accumulation phase for ETH over these next let's call it the next sort of 2 to 3 years, because when these treasuries, like just going back to what was in the weather report, Michael Saylor is saying he wants to advise Microsoft on how to acquire Bitcoin for their treasury. Well, you start to think, well, once these entities like these universities have got Bitcoin, are they just going to stop there? What are they going to move to next? And for me, the next logical answer there is Ethereum. So I don't see it disappearing for the next cycle. I think this could be a very interesting accumulation phase.
It is the only other, asset that has an ETF. Sean P., longtime listener, often polarizing commenter, said institutions and TradFi retail are going to FOMO into ETH once Bitcoin, quote, gets a semi-chub. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is an erection reference right there. He's also saying that the only other crypto that institutions can speculate on is Ethereum. And I mean, to some capacity, that is the case right now. Although when Ram came on the show, he was talking about that platform which was like above board with the SEC that was going to allow him to do all sorts of complex crypto stuff. I don't know what I do not know what the status is of that. But anyway, let's dive into one of Greeny's specialties, which is meme coins. Greeny, can I run my meme coin portfolio by you and you let me know what you like and what you don't like? How about that?
Talk to me, PI.
Aura, GOAT.
Yeah, good trade. Sorry, keep going.
SPX, Lock In, Retardio, Mother, Giga, Glorp, Smoking Chicken Fish, Epic, Flavia.
Yeah, pretty decent bag. There's probably a couple I would cut maybe. Flavia probably could lose a bit of market share, attention economy, but that's obviously if
what
you think
a loser that coin is, huh? Flavia,
only somebody told you not to buy it.
Loser.
But
Ray told me not to buy it.
But I do like the rest of your portfolio. I've obviously got quite a few of those tokens as well. I do obviously have a few more. I have got into SEF more recently. I think looking at sort of that mid cap range at the moment is really kind of probably the best ROI in my opinion. So I'm talking tokens like Selfie, Mini, Sigma, which are really in that sort of 20 to 40 million. I think there might be 60 million as of pumps today. Yeah, those are the ones that I think are really going to rally up and hit those couple hundred of millions and kind of play catch up to Moo and catch up to Fwog that sent a bit earlier this year.
Easy. What do you think of Selfie and some of these other coins that Greeny's talking about?
Selfie's one that I've been watching pretty closely. They have great social media presence, but if we're going down that far on the risk curve, I'm still like such a stan maxi. Like I just love the 3D graphics Stan does because every time they're polarizing into some of the most ridiculous shit you'll ever see. And I think that inherently has interest in the crypto side. So like they just relaunched their their social media campaign and are back on Twitter and supposedly are rebranding the ticker to TAN so that the money sign fits into it too. That's one that I look at and I'm way more interested in personally. Like this chart is still up and to the right, which I like. That's one that I continue to consolidate and buy. I like Glorp as well. Greeny, what are your thoughts on Glorp?
Yeah, see, it's interesting those NFT sort of plays that have the meme coin as well. I hold Retardio. I've been buying Retardio the last week or so. And Glorp,
I think
was
that's
waiting
a $500 million coin.
Yeah,
I think
easy.
Retardio is a 500 mil.
I just spilled coffee all.
No,
we got him too excited.
Yeah,
I think like,
Glorp is he's like just bought it. He's like, I'm out of here.
Glorp is pulling back really nicely, and I think like you know me how I like to trade. I like to buy bottoms rather than just top blasting into random sort of memes. So something like that, I think, is starting to approach a level where I do start to become interested. And like you say, they're a very active community. You've got that NFT there as well, so it adds even another layer to that community and that engagement. And then obviously I haven't looked at holders for Glorp for quite a while, but that's something that I do like to consider as well.
Hey, Greeny, any chance you could like walk through holder scan and like what you look for there?
Yeah, sure. Let me pull it up.
I don't know if we went over that last time you were on, but I saw you tweet about that, and I have that bookmark to dive into. But that's something that I think is interesting to look at in terms of like holder changes.
Yep, easy. Let me just pull that one up.
So easy. Are you still adding Glorp here, or are you just basically sitting on your bags? I think you're muted.
For me, I'm still adding Glorp on pullbacks. I just feel like this is a $20 million coin. Like, that's just me. Like, they do great on socials. They have all the right people that I like to follow that are buying it and holding on to it. I'm not terribly interested in the NFT side. I know we're talking about like NFT meme coins, and this is technically one of them. But for me, it's like this chart is just great. Like, consolidated for a while, new all-time highs, pull back here to the previous all-time high, and I think it continues to trace higher. So that's kind of where I'm looking at it. So like on these any pullbacks, any major pullbacks, I'm definitely a big buyer of it.
Yeah, I think, well, you're 50% from all-time highs, right? So I think that's, not a bad level to DCA in. Yeah, so if you look, I've pulled up Holder Scan. Yeah, so if we have a look here, pretty much this is probably one of the best sites that you can use for meme coin trading at the moment. So essentially what it provides you is just holder ratios, market cap sort of percentages. They also show you how long people have been holding the token, okay, the percentage of sort of top holders, whether there's actually central exchanges that own this token, that sort of thing. So for example, MOG here on the screen, as you can see, like it constantly, there's 3 tokens that I always check, and they always have green holders accumulating. So it's MOG, it's SBX, and it's Giga. No matter what, those 3 tokens always have new buyers stepping in. And if you do look at certain timeframes, you can sort of distinguish whether this is a good trend over the 30 days, over the week, over the 3 days, those sorts of things. And you can change these settings here as well. And I have the premium version, which isn't too much to cost. I think it's like $5 for a month. And as you can see, this is the hold up increase of MOG over time, right? So it shows me that. It shows me the distribution of how many people own over 10 grand, 1 to 10 grand, okay, the 4 hours to 12 hour sort of trends. So if I'm scalping and swing trading a lot of high volume tokens or lower caps, I like to come and check these sort of stats and make sure that there are new holders sort of stepping in at that period of time. Ideally, you do want to have top 10 holders below 20%, but obviously I am aware that there are quite big whales in MOG and who have been holding for a very long time. And if anything, they might be market makers as well with a deal that they have off to the side. So yeah, those sorts of things are what I look for.
Hey, Ellie, SPX is on ETH and SOL. You can buy on BullX, either one. So BullX has ETH and SOL support. You can buy either token. If you're more comfortable with Solana, you have Solana in your wallet already. You can get it on SOL as well. They have a wormhole token that follows the same price of the ETH token.
So if we take it one step further, because MOG didn't have it, but if you look at Giga here, it shows me how many people have diamond handed this meme coin. And as you can see here, it's at 70% of holders are diamond handing this meme coin. So in other words, they've held it for longer than 3 months. So those sorts of stats are like amazing to check out if you're looking to potentially get into these sorts of meme coins. So Giga is a great hold. And I know that Pio just mentioned that he has it too, because you have such beautiful underlining stats here at 9% for top 10 holders. So it means that one person can't just dump the chart back down a couple hundred mil. So little things like that is what I love to see in particular meme coins. And this one here as well, the market cap to holder ratio. So you got 20,000 is the current average holdings for Giga per average holder. So yeah, that's quite high.
I have a question. So you brought up Retardio, which is, one of the coins that I mentioned is in my portfolio. By the way, the amount of coffee, it literally was in the keyboard. So like, I'm like holding up the keyboard and the coffee's just flying out of it. I was like, what's happening? And I was like wiggling the keyboard like this, trying to get all the coffee out of the keyboard. So anyway, that's done. And now the whole desk is going to smell like coffee. And I spilled a coffee in my car a few weeks ago and the whole car smells like coffee. So I'm just surrounded by the smell of stale coffee. But anyway, so how is Retardio's market cap so low compared to some of these other coins is what I'm trying to understand. It just kind of feels weird to me that I know it's $131 million. So I fully appreciate that is not a negligible market cap. But then you see some of these other coins that just have a cakewalk to like $400 million market cap. I don't really understand how like the sort of mascot of crypto Twitter is only at 131 M.
Look, there's a few things that come into that at the end of the day too. I think my internet might be okay. Yeah, but essentially what you're looking for, is like certain cabals, certain people that talk about these sort of meme coins. Obviously, this one has that NFT that's attached to it as well, so you do have to consider that. And sometimes just the meta or the narrative just doesn't push this higher. You do just kind of have to play this out over longer time frames and just be happy sitting and holding those sort of bags in this particular trade. Whereas something like, Moondeg or Goat can run to nearly $1 billion in the space of 2 weeks. That's just crazy market share, attention economy on specific tokens. Whereas something like this probably grinds up and outperforms them over the next 3, 6, possibly 12 months if we last that long this cycle. Whereas something like Goat maybe does stick around, but something like Moondeg obviously got that Binance listing, so that pumped out of nowhere. Otherwise, it was pretty much going to zero. So
Greeny, real quick, I got a thesis for you on this. We saw Goat. We got Goat being the first Binance listing, right, of any pump fund. Immediately followed. I'm talking less than 24 hours. Moondeg gets listed.
Yeah.
So first thing here. What did you think about the price action of the two? Because I want to share my thought on it, but we saw Goat pull back, Moondeg pump. Why do you think that happened?
Well, it's really interesting that you said that because of probably the listings, right? And I didn't quite get into Moondeg in time. I literally got stopped out from my long, so I would have absolutely printed on that. But I was waiting
long on it.
I got stopped out, bro. I was so close. Like I was drawing this and it broke below the 786. I was like, okay, I'll wait a little bit lower, and then it sent just crazy. So like, hey, that's trading at the end of the day. So no, I think Goat obviously had run up and Binance listed it at its all-time highs, whereas obviously Moondeg had consolidated for a period of time. So it was going to send a lot higher.
Yeah, so I'm in the same boat. My thesis was basically like, okay, Moondeg's got listed at a bottom. So you buy the Binance listing on that. Goat got listed at its peak. So you sell the listing on that. That's like the easiest way to look at it. Was like, you see both of these price actions and you have to be a little bit conscious of what that actually means for the wider market. Is like, perfect. We see this. You need to be a little bit reactive to it. Also, Goat here looks like a buy to me on a retest back up to that uptrend that you have. I have the same trend line personally. So that's what I'm watching pretty damn closely. That's the big thing that I watch for. But I was just curious, and we do have the same thesis. Was like it got listed at a low versus listed at a high. Then the other thing is, it's huge. Like that's like you got to buy the pump off the low versus sell the pump off the high. The other thing now is, do you think we're going to see a lot more pump fund listings happen?
Yes, and that's why I'm bullish on those mid-tier tokens. So anything between that sort of like 10 mil, possibly, like if it moves up a bit higher, 10 mil to about that 200 mil. So things like Flog is probably at the top of that range. And then obviously you've got like something like Giga still isn't even listed on a lot of these exchanges to futures trade or spot trade, right? So something like that could definitely get listed. But then you also have some of those lower tokens like I'm talking about. So Sigma, Selfie, Mini, Aura, if it can get back up towards 50 mil, because they have that diehard community. They have strong whale holders already who have connections in the market maker space or who have connections with exchanges as well. So those definitely are on my radar.
Do you think Mother gets listed because of the ties to Iggy?
Yes, I probably lean in the favor of yes there. I do think so. Like it's on some exchanges as well already. And like we have been leverage longing and shorting Mother for quite a while on Blowfin at least. But I do think something like Mother is one that could obviously expand a little bit further because she has that reach. She has that institutional demand. She's got Anthem in her pocket as well. So like things like that.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't even know. Go ahead, Sig.
So I was going to on the political meme coins, do you think this is like the sell the moment? If we've got 8 days to go, do you think this is sell the moment? Or do you think for some of them, they're worth still holding as you go into like who will be the winner and who will be the loser?
That's a good question, Sig. I don't own any Karma. I just don't think that's the one to be holding. We have printed on Trump on ETH already in my trading group. And then Tremp, I actually just bought during the show because it was bottomed and it looks like a breakout is about to occur. So that'll be an aggressive swing trade because
like
as
right
always,
now?
like 15 minutes ago. Yeah. So yeah, if you zoom out a bit, well, that's Trump. But yeah, go to Tremp. So it's just Tramp on, I think is it on Sol? Maybe I think it might be on Sol.
$40 million NFT.
Yeah. So that one looks like it very much could be bottoming. Yeah, I might have front run it a little bit there, so it's good. But so I think something like that definitely could be a really aggressive swing trade. And like all sort of crypto events, right? You want to sell the news, like buy the hype, ride that up, sell before it happens because of like 100% of the time they often dump, right? Even if Trump does get in, then I think this still dumps like pretty soon after that happens.
So what is something like Trent. Like
Say
something
again?
that's had this like crazy all-time high of like 140 and it's rebounding off sub 20 mil lows. You know, we're retesting local highs. Like, what's your target on something like this?
So I just use simple Fibonacci technique. So yeah, have you got my screen? Yeah, perfect. So literally, like, I just use Fibonacci levels, and that's just like they're mathematical, they're psychological levels that TA works on meme coins. No matter who tells you that meme coin TA doesn't work, I promise you it works. It's made me so much money this cycle. And as you can see here, right, like we have bottomed in this 786 to 886, which a lot of meme coins love to bottom in. And then they do pump from there. And traditionally, as long as volume comes in, new holders step in, which I know that Trent holders have started to increase over the sort of past week or so as well. So that matched with obviously a bottom here means that I probably look to swing trade this. Like, that's nearly a 2x move to that first fib there. So I just set limit orders of sells at these sort of levels and hope that I hit as many as I can.
I love the strategy. Go ahead, Sig.
Sorry. So I think I've got a slight delay on my side, but I was going to add to this one. This would be the only one that if I was to sell, I would also keep just a little moon bag, because if he does become president, I think anything stupid he does, anything that makes the news, this one will keep on trading and having actual liquidity coming in. If in the end, if Harris wins, I think it's a sell the news event, but that wouldn't be a token that I would hold like during her presidency. I don't think she has the attention, but he does, and that's why I'd keep a little moon bag for this while he's president, just for the silly shit that you know he's going to pull.
Yeah, that's a fair play. Yeah.
So moving on, I guess, is there anything in the NFT market that has your interest right now? Or how do you feel about the NFT market, generally speaking, compared to the market for meme coins at this point?
There's certain plays that I think could be lucrative. And I remember when I came on this show at the end of last year, I think it was New Year's Eve or the day before, and I literally said that this cycle is very different because liquidity is spread across multiple blockchains, but also multiple markets. So you've got meme coins, you've got DeFi, you've got staking, you've got like gaming as well, if you want to consider that. You've got NFTs. So it's so hard for the attention economy to maintain a specific focus like we saw on Ethereum meme coins last cycle, right? However, I do think there will still be winners. Like, obviously, you've got Azuki and Pudgy still rumored to have a token in the near future. I think something like BTC Puppets is probably the trade that I would like to take. Like, I would buy a Retardio, but I own the meme coin, and that's just a better liquid trade for me. But something like BTC Puppets, and shout out to Craig, a fellow Aussie, we've been talking quite often about that. And I think they're starting to look at potential bottoms right now at 0.11 sort of region, right? With listings still going down, that's what I think could be a really good hedge to, again, level up your Bitcoin bag and start accumulating a couple of those and swing trade those to 0.2 or 0.25, okay, just to see how high they go. But outside that, just no, NFTs just aren't doing it for me at the moment.
I like that Bitcoin. Easy. What do you think of that Bitcoin puppet trade here? You can be transparent.
Personally, I don't want Bitcoin puppets. I don't. If I'm buying an NFT right now, I'm buying Apus on ETH.
Fair play.
At 0.2, I think they go to 0.5. So I think they have a little bit over a 2x, 150% gain to 0.5 on these. Because so this is Murad's NFT pick. If you remember his first list, he listed these over Pudgy Penguins and said that they were minting soon. We've seen multiple sales of the one of ones as high as, I want to say, 8 and 9 ETH. It's just like, basically you have Pups World Order, which is the rune that I think needs to move higher for Pups to move higher, because now they are somewhat bootstrapped to that. Whereas the Apu ETH meme coin has already ran. This is like Murad's third favorite token behind SPX and what's the other one? He likes SPX and
Giga.
Giga. Those are his two, and this is his third one. He's like just a diehard fan of this. I don't know anyone who owns the meme coin, and last time I did not know anyone. Oh, you do? Okay, yeah, so now I know one person.
I got in at 60 million. Yeah, so I've made it 5x, 6x already.
Yeah, so you're crushing on it, which is great. But that's the same thing. That was my issue with Brett. I only knew Crash who had it, and that thing ran to multiple billions. So I'm like, if we're going to bet on something, I'm going to bet on Murad's bags for this to at least go to 0.5 when Project Aeon's 1.7 in Bitcoin in the Sprotos are over an ETH. What's stopping this from running? Like, multiple people I've talked to wanted the 0.1 pullback after mint. They sat at 0.15, ran up to 0.2, and I don't think they're going to get back to that 0.1 target I wanted. So I'm going to end up probably picking a couple of these up. I don't hold any yet. I just haven't had time to buy them. I did just open up a long on Tremp. I like that chart a lot personally. So hearing Greeny talk about that too. I'm not big into the Politify stuff, the token wise, because like we do have 6 days. But as this heats up going into the election, I do think that that one has the best potential to run much harder.
Trump. I mean,
Yeah.
that
I
feels
like the
like
chart.
We're gonna
just
live
had the small
We're gonna live by some Trent.
Yeah, I like that.
Oh!
But yeah, NFT wise, man, I'm like, if I'm buying NFTs, I'm gonna focus on Apu, and then that's probably it right now, just because it's relatively new.
How much Trump you buying, Ray?
5 Sol.
5 Sol. Is that a tiny bag for Ray?
That's about what I size into plays that are in for like the medium to long term. I'm not gonna throw that into, I'm not gonna throw that into some like random just launched coin, but if it's something that is at this already like 30 to 40 million market cap and I'm looking for a 2x, that's about what I'll throw in.
If it's something with deep quality and value like Trump,
yeah,
right,
obviously.
yes, that's when you'll throw the 5 Sol into it. Look, I mean, we have some stories here about like the strength of Bitcoin, but I actually don't even think it's worth talking about because everybody knows about the strength of Bitcoin. Wait, why would you buy the Apu NFTs over the coin, Easy?
Because they're new. So they haven't gone into price discovery yet. So until we actually find an opportunity for what, quote, the market views them as fair value, they're going to trade much more volatilely compared to the token. So because the Apu token's been out for significantly longer, these have much more room to fluctuate in that speculative asset range. So whether they go back to 0.15, run to 0.3, back to 0.2, up to 0.5, we're going to see significantly more volatility on these just because of how new they are.
Very nice. By the way, the market's open here in the United States, ladies and gentlemen. 9 minutes in, it looks like MicroStrategy's up $12, ladies and gentlemen. So Signal knows what that means. That means just
means
wow.
fine dining this weekend, PO. That's what it means. It means a lot of fine dining. Like, oh man, it's just
the best stock ever.
It's just
hey, where do you rank this among all stocks net past and future?
Number 1. Greeny, this is the best stock ever. Okay. Literally. This thing, it's outperformed NVIDIA. No one talks about it. No one will say that, even though like it's actually true. No one will say it.
Well, Pierre, I already swing traded the meme coin of MSTR or something on ETH recently as well. So yeah, no, I back that.
Let me see this lifetime chart real quick, Ray. Let me see this lifetime chart. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, if you're in the audience, well, first of all, take a look at that. So, all right. So we have the, oh, wow. The .com bubble was crazy, huh? Holy shit. The .com bubble was crazy in 1999, 2000. Wow. That's insane. Holy smokes. Ladies and gentlemen, we have the lifetime chart for MicroStrategy up. It almost looks fake. The 1999-2000 bump is insane. That is
looks like a pump and dump meme coin, mate. That's what it looks like.
Straight up. I mean, that is wild. And that's like literally 20 years ago. That's absolutely crazy.
All loaded up right around here.
Who loaded up?
The Cabal. Cabal loaded up there and showed it on the timeline.
There was no Cabal for this one, man. Just Michael Saylor's Cabal of billionaire guys.
And I'm pretty sure most of the pump has happened this year, Pierre, right? Am I thinking that's right? Because I'm pretty sure like since January, December, and it's just gone parabolic since then.
The run started as soon as Larry Fink and BlackRock announced the ETF, because that was when I started buying it in my mom's accounts too, because it was like, oh, okay, so we're going to have a Bitcoin ETF officially, because if you guys recall, BlackRock, out of the like 480 applications or ETFs that they'd filed for previously, only one had ever been rejected. So they had a 99.9% hit rate. And that one that got rejected was because of a weird technicality, and they just filed again and it got approved after the fact. So essentially everyone was like, oh, okay, cool. BlackRock knows this is going to get approved, and thus, you know, there will be a Bitcoin ETF in the near future. So that's when everybody piled into Coinbase and MicroStrategy, because those were the two options in the stock market for Bitcoin exposure. And that was off of a low bottom. MicroStrategy got absolutely whacked after the last cycle, because it's kind of like a levered bet on Bitcoin. So it goes up higher than Coinbase and it goes down lower. It's pretty
And
crazy.
also, Pio, it's going to get weirder. Like, it's going to get weird once the accounting standards change in the US with regarding like how Bitcoin can be used to collateralize and just do all this other fancy stuff that corporates like to do with their treasury. That is when it's going to get super weird. Like, it is no coincidence that you're seeing so many corporations buy Bitcoin, countries mine Bitcoin, because it won't just be an asset that sits on their books and just sort of it just acquires value over time. It'll be an asset that they'll be able to go out and do other things with. And that is why Saylor is in such sort of a defensive position, because he got in at such a good price, which I think was around 30K. So the accounting standards will need to change. And that's when things are going to get really weird in the US and globally. So I think MicroStrategy will just keep performing well over the next 24 months.
Real quick, last thing on this. M. Ali said, Saylor is leverage on top of leverage. I wouldn't hold it, to be frank. He went from 69K all-time high down to 16K, which is below previous all-time high, which hadn't happened before because of the FTX debacle and the contagion that spread from FTX. So that's essentially a full tilt black swan event. I mean, think about it, ladies and gentlemen. One of the top 3 crypto exchanges in the world, a billion-dollar company that had Tom Brady and Larry David in commercials and had raised money from all the biggest funds and was like the golden boy of not only crypto, but like the future of business, turned out to be a colossal fraud that resulted in the CEO and the COO doing jail time, CEO getting 20 plus years of jail time, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. And that was just no issue for Saylor. That was no issue. So do you, what's easy smiling? Well, it's true. It's true, dude. Like, what do you want? He's got no comment. He's got,
I'm just like, yeah. It's just funny when you break it all down. Like, dude, these people held so much crypto, a downright criminal amount of cryptocurrency, and yet they just were like, nah, not enough. Let's just high leverage user funds and say, fuck it, and see what happens. They got caught. They got lit up. And sure enough, it happened. But no, I mean, I think it's just funny because Saylor literally was like, yeah, nah, this shit happens. Buy more. It's like, okay. Yeah, if this dude is buying more, I'm buying more. Like, that was a big factor for me. Like, I'll never get the opportunity to buy Sol sub $10 again. So, like, shout out FTX doing a bunch of illegal shit because it led to me to be able to have the best opportunity in my life. Like, I love SPF just because he put me in the position I'm in, you know? Shout out Sam. You know, hey, I didn't do illegal shit.
Yeah, I mean, it was a literal criminal enterprise. I mean, it wasn't like, literally, it was just a criminal enterprise. They were just taking people's money and gambling with it hardcore and barely keeping track of everything. Apparently, they were just using like Excel spreadsheets as a literal billion-dollar organization. Absolutely insane, huge fraud, a lot of BS over there. Look, real quick, ladies and gentlemen, just want to mention our newest partner that we launched with today, Party Icons. Party Icons, of course, the gaming metaverse pioneering a novel core gameplay blending chaotic fun of party games with high stakes battle royale. So you're going to get to see us playing this game. We have it pulled up on screen. As you can tell, it looks super, super, super sick. Love to see the progression of games, you know, in crypto and just focusing on making a super duper fun game. So you can follow Party Icons on Twitter. That's Party Icons OGX. So Party Icons OGX on Twitter. And stay tuned because we're going to have special bonuses for the Bodagos crew. Ray has essentially the list of investors here. So $20 million raised for this. Very cool stuff. Some big names here like Yield, YGG, you know, Yield Guild Games, and others. So really, really cool stuff there from Party Icons. Easy, anything that I missed?
No, just if you want to play now, it's completely free to play on both PC and mobile. Cross-play as well. So, I mean, we've even played it, me on the phone, Clemente on computer, Ray on computer. It's been awesome to see. So I'm a huge fan of this. The game is truly fun. And that's the biggest thing with Web3 games. We just saw the massive success of Off the Grid. It's only a matter of time till we continue to see incredible games continue to gain traction. And Party Icons, it's fun. It is a genuinely chaotic, fun, messy game with the God mode turned on. Gets just absolute chaos ensued throughout the entire gameplay. So great job to their team putting out a truly fun game.
It looks sick.
I just wanted to add on a bit. Like this like you're saying, ton of fun. Loved playing this. And also their strategy when you're playing, earning these rewards, they have both in-game and then Web3 out-of-game assets that you can trade. So you can earn like out-of-game rewards for this free-to-play game. Quick correction, they're in closed beta now. They're going to be opening up TBD, but within the next couple of weeks, it's going to be opening up, and we're going to have all kinds of bonuses for Bodalgos. You're going to be able to join our team or earn points together. It's called a mirrorship, so we'll be all playing together, earning points as almost like an in-game guild. So a ton of fun. Can't wait to play this with everybody. It's going to be awesome.
That's going to be sick. Half Basic thinks the game looks dope. Shout out to Half Basic. Real quick, before we move on to our fun game show segment, Meme Coin Monday, which I missed last week, unfortunately. OX Fetty, who I've been sending voice messages back and forth with, might want to actually get him involved in the production of this show, because give him a follow. That's 0x Fetty on Twitter. He is interested in analysis, blockchain analysis, which is always welcome. I brought up guys like Willy Woo and Will Clemente, who are on-chain analysts for Bitcoin. Looks like he knows this stuff. He said MicroStrategy issues convertible bonds to buy Bitcoin, capturing Bitcoin upside and benefiting when bondholders convert to equity, reducing debt and boosting liquidity on gains. He's absolutely right. And not that many people can run that playbook. Michael Saylor is one of the longest standing public company CEOs, and also just one of the longest standing technology company CEOs. And he has, 30-year relationships with the banks that are issuing the debt. There's a lot of action that's going on with MicroStrategy that makes it very one of a kind. A corporation like Microsoft could do a similar playbook, which is why I'm not surprised that he is offering to help them with that game plan. I think he's already talked about creating a playbook for corporates. Got to assume that he already has it. MicroStrategy, the greatest stock ever, not hyperbole. So anyway, over to the game show segment, Meme Coin Monday. It's true, Easy. I don't know what to tell you, dude. It's the best stock ever.
The best stock of all time. There's no second best. If you don't own MicroStrategy, screw you.
There is a second best.
Okay. NVIDIA, second best. Crypto, AI. The intersection is the SPX 6900. So now we have the big three.
Microsoft's a good stock too. You just had to wait like 40 years for it. If you bought Microsoft in like 1980, that was pretty good for sure. All right. So anyway, game show segment, Meme Coin Monday. Ray, you want to walk us through this?
Yeah. So every week we'll pick 3 meme coins a piece, and we track performance. Last week we got slaughtered. Only 2 meme coins in the green as a whole out of 9 between me, Easy, and Nick. Positives, Brainlit, and Mew, which is up a measly $3. Overall, I protected my bag. I was only up $11, but I took down the cake. Nick was down about $20, and Easy just got absolutely eviscerated, down $169 out of his original $300 budget on the week. Absolute swing for the fence and a swing and a miss. So we'll pick 3 meme coins a piece. We'll track the progress over the week, and then we'll report back next Monday and see who had the best meme coin bag.
Well, there we go.
Yep, go ahead.
Well, no, please continue.
Yeah, there we go. So we're gonna start off here. Let's start off with Greeny. Let's get some picks out of you. I know you've been following them. I know you're following what's hot. So let's see what you got, and let's see if you can stack up this week.
All right, well, I'll go with 2 larger caps, and then I'll go with a low cap. So Selfie and Mini, I'll go those 2. I would have picked Sigma, but it's pumped already. So I'll go Selfie and Mini, both at mid-40s. And then I'm going to go with Bro the Cat. It's at 3.4 million at the moment, but I was in a little bit lower at 2.3 already.
What's the ticker on that?
Bro, just BRO.
Perfect.
Nice. Bro. Good ticker.
Perfect.
Whatever you just said prompted Freeman to go, damn, this guy knows what he's talking about. He's talking about Bro the Cat. This guy sounds like an expert.
I had never heard of Bro before, and I pay attention to meme coins, so I got to take a closer look now.
Who's next? Easy?
You're muted, Easy. Easy or Sig, whoever is ready.
I'll go next. I'm going to go Tremp, Giga, and then I'm going to just hedge this and then go Karma as well.
Tremp, Giga, Comma. So a little political action there from Signal, and a fan favorite of Giga. Greeny with Selfie, Mini, and Bro. Very interesting. Easy, what do you got?
I'm looking right now. I like to go with this 1 to 10 mil range. I like the zero or hero approach. So I'm gonna go with weird medieval memes, WMM, down about 48% at the moment. Got absolutely rallied very hard before running. I'm gonna go with Tremp. Give me Tremp now that it is my bags. So I'll take Tremp as well. Weird medieval memes, Tremp. And then this next one's tough because I don't want an AI coin, but that's like the entire thesis right here for a lot of these, which is tough. Give me green since we got greeny on. Just give me the color.
Green. Interesting.
What market cap is that come back to? Is it dumped yet?
So green is sitting at a 2.4 mil FTV. So it has rebounded slightly after it pumped all the way up to 9 mil. It looks like it bottomed right around. Oh man, this thing went all the way to 600K. Seems to be rallying right now. Slight volume break back up when we got back up to 2 mil, and now it's got some nice steps back up. So I'm gonna go with green.
Green. Okay, Ray. It looks like you're selecting yours, huh?
Yeah, I'm in the process. All right, so I'm gonna take Book of Ethereum on ETH, and we're gonna take GME on Ethereum. GME has been getting some legs. I feel like there's something happening there, and I want to get involved. And then I'm gonna take Nero on Sol, not the ETH token. The ETH token's been pumping. The Nero on Sol has not pumped as hard, so I'm gonna take that as a beta low cap play for a potential run on the Nero on Ethereum.
Is GME on Sol not official?
I don't know. I follow the GME on ETH personally.
Got it. Because yeah, the GME on Sol's down 3%, whereas the GME on ETH is up 14%.
Correct.
Which obviously a big difference.
Yes.
Why is that running?
I'm hearing some things that like Roaring Kitty could be attached to it. There's been some like weird wallet connections and buys around Roaring Kitty's tweets. So a little bit of tinfoil hat here. And I think so it's ran from 5 mil to 48 mil in the last 2 weeks. So I think there is something that's going to come out. I'm just betting it's going to happen this week, and we're gonna go higher.
Greeny doesn't buy it.
Nah, I don't buy a chart like that.
What about this green token? Like it's just a color?
Yeah, there's a whole meta. There's a whole meta of that.
Just
sort
the color.
of stuff as well.
Just the color. It's better than the AI shit. It's just the color.
Okay. And so are there other colors too?
Yeah. I think there's black. I want to say there's purple, but yeah, green is the main one. We like green. Oh, there's red because price go down. But you want to buy something that goes up, and green means price good.
Interesting. Very interesting. So I'm going to go Tremp. I'm definitely going to go Tremp. Man, for 1 week time horizon, huh? So I'm going to go Tremp for the 1 week. I'm going to go with Retardio. I just think it'll move. Maybe. Who knows? And then I'm going to just ride with one of Greeny's picks. So I'm going to go with Selfie. He seems to have conviction in Selfie. Bachelor Society is completely obsessed with Farcoin. I mean, Jesus, like how much do you have, Bachelor Society? Like, I don't know what to tell you, dude. But anyway, and then we have this guy Sniff, who's got a shirtless man as his picture. I'm going to assume that's not him. He said, it's insane how the future of crypto, aka Omniflix, never gets mentioned. I have no idea what that is. No clue what that is.
Hey, Easy. Have you seen these new icons on the new BullX we have access to?
I have. I like them a lot. They're nice. The new BullX, man. I'm telling you, it's gonna be a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
Coming soon to Bodoggos. Coming soon. Little access here.
Looks
New
sick.
icons. Yeah, it's nice. You get to see how much money you lose in like real time. Very nice.
Well, I'm looking at my meme coin portfolio, and more of them are green than red, so that's good.
Yeah, this is the DGen portfolio now that they opened up a new account. So not doing well on DGen coins so far with this one.
All good, Ray. Well, look, Greeny, great picks. Any closing thoughts here about meme coins, NFTs, anything in the crypto market right now as Bitcoin busts through 69K?
I think just stay patient. The good times are ahead. Parabolic price action is around the corner. You've got a lot of bullish catalysts coming. as long as rates and stuff do keep coming down. You've got money printer possibly coming on with the elections sort of finalizing as well. Liquidity starting to increase, obviously, from there as well. But pretty much we've consolidated for a long period of time, which ultimately means that what we will see currently, or when the next breakout does happen, it's going to be aggressive because we have had such a long period of time of sideways price action. I think not holding meme coins is stupid. I think you've got to have exposure to meme coins this cycle. It is what NFTs were last cycle. And I think don't fade the obvious play. Go with strength. So Solana is strength. Radium is strength. Okay, Jupiter is strength. The top meme coins are strength. So don't fade, like SPX, Giga, Bitcoin. Those sorts of meme coins definitely outperform in the longer term.
Love to hear it. Easy. Was anything that Greeny just said out to lunch?
No, he's spot on. If you're not buying meme coins, you're doing yourself a disservice. That's the entire focus of this current market and will continue to be so. If you're not buying memes, you're just missing out on money at this point. You will lose money, first and foremost. I call it paying your dues to the market. But overall, if you're not trading meme coins are what NFTs were last cycle.
Well, there you go. Ladies and gentlemen, one more shout out to Party Icons, one of our newest partners. I mean, look, it's a kick-ass game. They just closed a $9 million private round raise led by gaming VC Bitcraft. You probably heard of Bitcraft before. The game's in closed beta, but it's going to be streaming gameplay this week with our crew. So you're going to get to see us play it. It's mobile and PC. Easy. Do you play it on mobile or PC? You're muted,
right
buddy.
Right now, I'm playing on PC. I was playing it on mobile, but I will be.
Very nice. Very nice. Well, look, you guys can follow Party Icons. That's at Party Icons OGX. And stay tuned as we're going to have special bonuses for our Bodagos crew. Follow them, Party Icons OGX. And Ray has the tweets pinned. It looks like a sick game. I can't wait to play it. It sounds like the boys have already started playing it. Very, very cool stuff. Very exciting. Good games in crypto are inevitable, ladies and gentlemen. It's just been a matter of when. Love to see the progress here from Party Icons. Congratulations on the fundraise. And yeah, look, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back tomorrow. Do the show Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Eastern time each and every week. Available on Apple and Spotify podcasts, Twitter Spaces, and YouTube. Make sure you give Greeny a follow on Twitter. He is consistently and has been consistently for the better part of a year, if not longer, been posting his technical analysis on meme coins and other crypto assets. Every once in a while, some stock market stuff, right, Greeny?
Yeah, the odd time. But yeah, no, meme coin focus and on altcoins as well. Yeah.
Meme coins and altcoins. That's at Greeny Trades. That's at GREENY Trades. And he's building Greeny's group, his trading group, GTG. Love to see it. So yeah, at Greeny Trades, at Greeny's group. He's a meme coin master, trader, and analyst, YouTuber. Love having him on the show. Love having him be a Bodago. Thanks for joining the show today, buddy.
You're welcome, Pierre. Cheers.
Cheers. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we'll catch you next time. Thanks for listening. Ray can